Good morning. In this presentation, we are proposing a research project focused on implementing web usage mining to analyze user behavior within the Tribunales Amigables educational platform. This work focuses on the ethical and secure collection and analysis of interactions data from children, ensuring their privacy while utilizing open source web analytic tools. Nowadays, digital educational platforms are increasingly used as tools to support learning. When these platforms are aimed at children and adolescents, a significant, a significant challenge arises: understanding how they actually interact with the content. It is not enough to simplify know that the platform exists or that it's being used. It's essential to have mechanisms in place that allow us to evaluate actual usage, navigation paths, interaction time, and overall user behavior. Tribunales Amigables is a platform whose goal is to introduce children to concepts of justice and violence prevention through educational activities. In the image, we can see an example of the interface and one of the games, which which allow us to visualize the type of interaction that the users perform within the system. Currently, Tribunales Amigables lacks web analytics mechanisms that would allow for a systematic analysis of how children interact with the platform. This means that actual user behavior remains unknown. We don't know which activities are more used, what users face difficulties, or how they progress over time. Consequently, it's challenging to evaluate the platform's real educational impact and to make informed, data driven decisions for its improvement. To address these challenges, we propose the use of web tracking and web usage mining. Web tracking consists in collecting data derived from user interaction with a digital platform. This data includes information such as usage sessions, clickstream data, response times, and navigation paths. Once collected, these logs become the raw material for web usage mining, which allow us to analyze the data to discover behavior patterns, usage trends, and potential areas for improvement in both learning outcomes and vulnerable overall usability. When working with platforms aimed to children, the use of web analytics raises significant ethical challenges. Many commercial tools store data on external servers, which leads to a loss of institutional control and potential risk of exposing sensitive information. For this reason, in educational and violence prevention contexts, it's essential to implement solutions that guarantee privacy, anonymity, and total data sovereignty by the institution. This is precisely why we have selected Open Web Analytics, OWA, as the core of our proposal. Given The risk associated with the commercial analytics, open web analytics, emerge as a private and ethical alternative. OWA is an open source tool that can be installed directly on the institutional servers, allowing us to collect and analyze the data without relying on third parties. This ensures total control over the information, a fundamental requirement when working with data from minors and within sensitive educational contexts. The objective of this work is to design and implement a privacy focused web analytics solution based, based on Open Web Analytics for the Tribunales Amigables platform. This solution seeks to record relevant usage metrics such as sessions, interaction times, and activity usage, while maintaining strict institutional control over the data at all times. Furthermore, this system establishes the foundation for more advanced future analysis, such as identifying behavior patterns or specific interaction difficulties. This research follows an action research methodology characterized by an iterative and participatory approach. This means that we directly interactive in the platform by incorporating web analytics and subsequently analyze the results to progressively improve the solution. This approach is particularly suitable for educational context as it allows us to evaluate the tool without compromising ethical principles or users' privacy. The methodological process is organized into five iterative phases. First, a diagnosis is conducted to evaluate the platform's current operation and identify the necessary metrics. Next, we move to the design and implementation of the web analytics using Open Web Analytics OWA. During the observation phase, interaction data is collected through various testing scenarios. This data undergoes a descriptive analysis to identify usage and behavior patterns. Finally, the review and improvement phase allow us to refine the solution and repeat the cycle, progressively strengthening the proposal. This slide path presents to the proposed layered architecture for integrating Open Web Analytics into the Tribunales Amigables platform. In the presentation layer, users interact with the platform through their web browsers, engaging with educational games and activities. The application layer represents the core of the platform, where activities, system logic, and mm, user interactions are managed. Integrate with this is the analytics layer, powered by Open Web Analytics. Its role is to capture events, sessions, and usage metric in a transparent and ethical manner. Finally, in the data layer, all collected data is saved on institutional servers, ensuring total information control and protection of the minor's privacy. This diagram represents the data flow of the proposed system. The process begins when the users interact with the platform by engaging in educational games or activities. These interactions generate tracking events such as clicks, response times, or answer selection, which are captured by scripts integrated into the application. These events are then sent to Open Web Analytics, which process and structure the information. Subsequently, the data is stored locally on institutional servers, preventing any transfer to external service. Finally, the information can be visualized on a dashboard, allowing institutional staff to analyze usage patterns, potential usability issues, and interaction trends. The metrics collected through Open Web Analytics serve as key inputs for different areas of analysis, all aimed at the continuous improvement of the platform. First, they allow us to evaluate system usability by identifying modules with high response time, recurring errors, or activity abandonment. They also make it possible to analyze content engagement, observe, observing which games or activities show higher usage frequency, repetition, or retention time. Additionally, monitoring activity traffic help us understand temporal patterns regarding system access and server load. Finally, although not an immediate goal, this data lays the groundwork for future predictive models. This could be aimed at the early detection of learning difficulties of interaction issues, always maintaining an ethical and privacy centered approach. By implementing web analytics through our web analytics, we expect to obtain concrete and actionable results for the Tribunales Amigables platform. First, this solution will allow us to identify usage patterns such as frequent navigation path, retention times, and interaction sequences. Furthermore, we will be able to detect usability and interaction issues such as modules with high errors rates, activity abandonment, or slow response times. This information will serve as the foundation for the progressive improvement of the platform from both an ethical and pedagogical perspective. Finally, the generate results will support institutional decisions making, providing objective, evidence based data for educational and psychosocial stakeholders. In conclusion, this work demonstrates that it's feasible to integrate private and ethical web analytics into an educational platform for children without relying on commercial services or compromising data privacy. This proposal represents both an academic contribution by combining web usage mining, action research, and open web source analytic and social contribution, given its application in a sensitive context focused on rights education and violence prevention. Finally, the implemented solution lays the groundwork for future work, such as the development of predict models, advanced behavior analysis, and decision support system for education. always maintaining a strict focus on ethics and data protection. Thank you very much for your attention.